Ready to conquer the business environment and concepts (BEC) section of the CPA exam? In this video, we present 100 carefully crafted trivia questions that will challenge and sharpen your understanding of BEC. These questions cover key topics like corporate governance, economic concepts, information technology, financial management, and more, everything you need to excel in the BEC module.